once again.
Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, and come to look at a Vauxhall Astra van over here. It's got some issues, so I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, so they've broken down. So let's have a look at what's going on. Steering wheel straightened up there. Okay, so key in, and getting a little flicker of lights, but not much. So it looks like it's got a dead battery. Just connected up our Noco battery booster here. Go back inside, and we're getting ignition. Right, either that hasn't got enough power or it's not connected good enough. We've wheeled the wires around and got a better connection. Now she's started up. So I think the obvious thing to do from here is to do a alternator voltage check. It's revving a little bit high there. Sometimes that can mean the alternator's not working. Usually they try to rev a little bit higher to counteract when the voltage is getting low. But it's obviously very cold at the minute as well. We're on about 2 degrees or something outside. Get that multimeter connected up, and we'll get this wedged in. And we are on 10 volts, so the alternator is not working. Well, it's not getting charged here anyway. Got it connected directly to the alternator, and the volts are dropping. So if that alternator is not working, once we disconnect this, it should stall out pretty much straight away or within a couple of minutes. There you go. So it's lost all power once our boost packs come off. So we've got it jacked up, and we've got 2 axle stands there holding it up. First thing we'll do is get a 10mm socket, and we'll open the battery, disconnect the cable. So the alternator is not connected to any sort of ampage. This battery is completely flat anyway, but we're going to disconnect it, of course. Now the first thing I'm going to do is come down here and just let me turn the torch on. So just right there, you got that bolt, 16mm for the tensioner, and I've got a 16mm socket here. I'm going to connect to it. Push the socket forward as far as I can, and then we're going to pull it back to pull that forward. Once we've got let me just get my hand there to show you. So if you look here on this, we need to pull this section over to these notches, and once we've got that there, there's a little hole here which we can fit a 6mm bar through, or we can't find any, so we're using one of our drill bits, and that'll hold the tensioner in place. You can get the socket off, and then obviously we just slip the belt off there, and we've got that drill bit holding the tensioner. Just down there on the alternator, you got a 12mm bolt for the live feed. Just over here we've got another 12mm bolt. Get that off. It's coming out by hand. Now we're going to come underneath here, press this little plug on the tab, pull the plug off, and up here we have a bolt to remove. It looks quite rusty, so hopefully it doesn't snap. This is for holding the horn in, so we're going to need to move that so we can bring the alternator out. Now we've got that bolt out, we can put that down out of the way, and we have a bolt here on the bottom of the alternator, which is a 14mm. So while you're opening this one, just at the other end of it, it's a nut and bolt. So if we come under here, you got a bolt there, and that is a 14mm as well. Yep. So we can hold that on there while we're opening that. That's the bolt from the other side off. This one can just pull out. There you go, it's a big long one obviously, and then the bolt goes on the other end, and it just goes back together like that. Now if we come underneath and we look just about here, we got the oil pump feed that goes on here, so you got an oil pipe on here, and I think we're just going to loosen this off first to get a pry bar in there, and we can get those other bits off. We have got a plug up there as well. Use like a big screwdriver, just wedge it in there, and it should just push it out, just like that. Now it's loose, we can wiggle it around. Just like that. Now we need to come down here. Let's just move this little pipe bit so you can see. Where are we? It's a little bit difficult to see, but we've got the plug here. And a plug. It's just one of those push clip plugs again. But with me, sometimes you need to use a little pry pick tool like this. Now we've pulled that plug out. Just going to push that to the side over there. And here we've got like a vacuum line, and we're going to open it from the top end here. We can disconnect it from the alternator once it's off. We're going to disconnect it from here first. 6mm. And just be careful when you're pulling those apart. Obviously this is brittle plastic. In this next section you might need an oil drip tray sitting there. So just up here we've got the oil feed pipe, and it's just got a little clip on it here. You can open it by hand. Just slide that down. Getting a little bit of pull on this plug, so we're just going to disconnect it just so it doesn't get damaged. Just opening this 12mm oil feed bolt here. This is on a banjo bolt, so it's got like a little hole in the middle. You get a little bit of oil dripping out. So that bolt looks like there, just got a little hole through it so the oil feed can go through, just goes through that little hole. Almost forgot about this one. We've got a little vacuum here onto the top, a little vacuum tube. Just going to pull that off. We've got it out. People always say you should always wear gloves, but this is why they're kind of pointless really. Every time we wear them they just break. Now we should be able to just pull it out from this section here. It's the driver's side. So if we just pull it here, we should just be able to just pull the whole complete unit out. A little bit of wiggling. Oh, we've got a pipe caught on something back there, so just make sure that's off. We've got one of the toughest, maybe riskiest parts, is we've got to remove this bolt and this bolt from the old alternator, because obviously the new one doesn't come with them. So I need to get those off and fit them on here. Hopefully they don't give us any problems. Just going to spray them up a little bit. You need a 22mm spanner for this. We have got it mounted on a vice just to keep it steady. Okay, we've got that one loose, so we're going to put it straight over there. Get that back on. Got a little copper washer here. Obviously it would be ideal to get a new one, but should be fine. Done loads of these in the past, they've always been fine with just using the same washer. We'll get this one off, dust cap, and we'll get it ready to put the other part in there. They've been all tightened on, ready to refit. Now we've got the new alternator just in place there, and we're just going to put everything back in reverse as we just done. Now all of the alternator is back on, and we've put the belt back on here. It's nice and loose because we've got that pin up there holding it, remember. Now we've taken the pin out, so the belt now has tension on it, nice and tight. Now alternator fitted, started it with a jump start, and we're going to connect up our multimeter. 14.2 volts. That's perfect. So that's basically the job all completed, and maybe there's a few bits and pieces that some people will say they might have done differently, but this is not a by the book, this is just the way I'm doing it today. This used to be quite a common job for us, but a few years back, but recently we haven't done one. I think it's been probably around 5 years since we've done this exact alternator, but they used to be quite common. So we've got an engine management light on, and we're just going to see why these are on. We've got two lights here, but it's most likely because it's had a flat battery. Here we've got like a list of codes, but they're all not present. I think it's obviously just when you get a flat battery it causes mayhem in the ECU, so we're just going to clear them all. Now they've been cleared, got no lights on there, so we're all good. See you in the next video.